Actually, we are doing this series of spiritual laws. So we have done, if we can recap, first law, anybody remember? This is the fourth law we are doing. First law, anybody remembers? No. We'll just, you had not attended earlier one. I will just summarize. First law was, no, that was second, receiving. Law of giving, not receiving, law of giving. That was second. But first was, no, the fifth. Law of pure potentiality. Law of pure potentiality. That means we are human beings with infinite potential. We can do anything, we can achieve anything, because we are God. We are God's children and we can achieve anything. But if we divert, if we behave in a way which is not right or not good, we don't remain God, and then we fall down. Suppose my conduct is absolutely perfect, I am not hurting anybody, I am doing what is supposed to be done, then I will achieve anything. That is law of pure potentiality. So in that law, it talks about how to tap that. So meditation is one. So ideally you should meditate for half an hour in the morning and half an hour in the evening, and you should be silent for at least 15-20 minutes a day. Silent matlab not watching TV, not reading book, just be. Be by yourself. In meditation you close your eyes and try to blank out, but in silence you are watching everything, but with detached involvement.
You are into being.
Yeah, that is just you are being, just you are not interested in what is happening either, but you are looking at what is happening. Third one is spending time with the nature. So you have to spend time, like you go and watch a flower, a tree, it connects you to God. And the next law was a law of giving. So whenever we give, in fact it is said that whatever we want badly, we should give it to others. It comes back. Suppose you want to be famous, so you try to make somebody else famous. You try to make other people healthy. Do something that we have to give what we want, because giving is receiving.
Help someone, like.
Help someone. In fact, there was a share also. In that it was said that घर से मस्जिद दूर ही सही, आओ किसी रोते हुए बच्चे को हंसाया जाए. तो that crying child is a God. तो उसको ही आप ठीक करोगे सब हो जाएगा. मतलब प्रॉब्लम मंदिर में जाएंगे, लेकिन so if we help somebody, it is, so if we give something, you receive. Now there was one lecture where that speaker was giving free seminar, like this is free seminar. Like I also started giving free seminars. In fact, what he said, when I give free seminars to, like there are people 10,000, 5,000, and he gives free. So if you will think, why I am doing this? It is not that I have any ulterior motive, but he says when I give something, it has to come back. So I am very much convinced that it is going to come back, that too multiplied, compound interest. So if I teach 10,000 people, or if I talk to 10,000 people, and if I have spent say 5 hours, so in my mind suppose I have spent say 1 lakh rupees, so he knows 1 crore will come, or 50 lakhs will come. How, it doesn't know. And actually that man is taking paid seminars where he charges about 7,000 rupees, and people are there. Matlab, one day he earns about 25 to 30 lakhs one day. And people keep on attending his seminars, because people thought it is a marketing strategy. I can look at you and talk. So people feel there is a marketing strategy, but no, it was basically that he knew it is going to come back. So I have to make sure. In fact, in management philosophy, they talk about WIIIFM. What is in it for me? WIIIFM. But if really, suppose somebody wants to be successful in business or career or anywhere, he should look at how can I help? How can I help? HCIH. How can I help? Instead of looking at what is in it for me. So when I am dealing with somebody, if I think of how can I help this man, automatically God will take care of WIIIFM. What is in it for me? So whatever dealing we do with anybody, always अपने mind में क्या होता है? What is in it for me? मेरा फायदा क्या है? But if we shift that focus to what is उसका फायदा करूँगा मैं, immediately God will take care of. So that is what law of giving is. So law of pure potentiality is meditation, primarily silence. Law of pure potentiality, if I have to give in 1 or 2 lines, I would say, which I have been telling you, the silent space between thoughts is God. The law of pure potentiality says you have to enter into that space of thoughtless space where you connect with God. So whenever you are in thoughtless mind, your mind is thoughtless, the God is in your mind. And then after, suppose you are totally silent and there is nothing in your mind, and the first thought which comes after that blank state becomes your reality. So if you want to achieve X thing and you go into that meditative state where you totally become blank, and when you come out with that thought, it will become reality. So law of pure potentiality says you can achieve anything provided you are able to blank your mind. So how to blank your mind? Go to meditation.
Meditation to standard rule.
Sit and in fact I am trying, though for last maybe 1 or 2 months I am trying. I have reached up to 15 minutes of but that also I cannot say it is blank. I have lots of thoughts, but I have been reading on this.
Practice, as we keep on practicing,
It will happen.
You can focus on the breath. Slowly,
Yes.
You can increase that gap.
Yeah, it will. Yes.
So you can focus on the breath, आपका breath के ऊपर ही वो thought वो आपका mind.
वो भी है, लेकिन क्या what I read somewhere is you just don't worry, like I am talking about that least effort na. You don't worry about going into blank state. You just be, let thoughts come and go.
You cannot do that purposely.
You cannot do that,
It happens.
Just keep watching that.
and then slowly thoughts will fade off. In fact, today I was very happy that I put the timer, and after 15 minutes it will go on. So every time after 12-13 minutes I am totally restless because I don't move my. See, people say mind and body connection. I say mind and body is one.
Yeah.
There is no connection.
You're one cybernetics.
It is one. People talk bullshit that it is two and they are trying to connect. There is no point in connecting because it is one. Like your two hands are one. It is not a hand connection.
Still your mind, you have to still your body also.
So still your body, your mind will be still.
Yeah.
So if you don't move your body for next 15 minutes, slowly your mind will start to. So that is law of pure potentiality. Then giving, law of giving is you have to keep on giving. If it doesn't have to be material always. It can be in any form. In fact, caring, affection, appreciation.
Also, when you are giving, it should be happy. कि मैं दे रहा हूँ.
It should be happy. No, but caring and these things are free.
Yeah.
If I care for him, it is free, and that is the biggest form of giving. If I give him 1 lakh, and if I genuinely care for him, so that caring is the bigger form of giving. Okay, that is one. Then the third one is law of karma. Karma is what you sow is what you reap. What you do, it will come back. जो करनी जैसी करनी वाली. But basic law of karma is, if you see in nutshell, we have to be aware about our actions. So if somebody abuses me, I immediately abuse him back. So I am controlled by my thought process. I have to stop, I have to pause, and I have to ask myself some question like, is it right for all concerned? Will it bring happiness to everybody concerned? What will be the consequences of the action which I am taking? And if you can pause and just look at your actions, immediately that becomes into law of karma. Then you are in control of your actions. When you control your actions, your destiny will be controlled. Right? Like suppose you sit somewhere and there is a spicy food and you are on diet. If you can control that action of not eating, your body will be normal.
Yeah.
But if you cannot control, that body will go for a toss. So law of karma is conscious decision making, not unconscious, like not subconscious, like somebody does it and I react. It is responding, not reacting. So I respond to every situation. I don't react to any situation. In fact, I met one of the long back. I met somebody. He is very big in one of the banks. Then he said, I said that people say that one should not get angry when you are in that big position. You should be in control. He said one should get angry also, but that should be also planned. So he should decide that today in the meeting I will get angry. Because these people also should know that I get angry also. I am not only calm, cool and collected. So I have to get angry on this particular person because he has to realize that this can go. So that anger also is controlled. Like fire, if you control, you can eat food. If fire controls you, you are gone.
Okay.
That is how. You have to control the fire. Fire will help you.
Use it
Judiciously. So these are the 3 laws: law of pure potentiality, law of giving, and law of karma. And the 4th law is law of least efforts. So actually that law talks about that you can achieve anything with virtually no efforts. Now our mind doesn't believe because everywhere people say hard work.
Action is required for every.
That is what said, but it is not like that. That is what this law says. In fact, if you see everywhere people say, like I read on WhatsApp, somebody had sent a lot of things about life. You should behave like this, behave like this, behave like this, and all was good. And last line was, don't expect life to be fair. Why? Why you don't expect life to be fair? Then you will get unfair life.
Ups and downs
होता है. But everything is okay. I will come in that. I will tell you every problem is a seed of opportunity. Opportunity will never come as opportunity. It will come as a problem.
It will have mask that.
It will always be like furnace को क्या बोलते? What do you call it? Jackfruit. Yeah. So that there is when you have to cut it and then only you will get it. Now outside you will say what is this. If you see the movie Diwar, in that movie Amitabh Bachchan had that knot. He had the shirt. What is the real reason? You know, the Darji was told that hero is very tall. So he is very tall. So he made a shirt which was Amitabh Bachchan के घुटने तक गया वो. It was very long.
फ्रॉक बन गया
हाँ बहुत बड़ा हो गया. Not घुटना actually बहुत इधर तक आ गया.
फ्रॉक बन गया
And nobody knows this. Then Amitabh Bachchan actually had to tie that. Or there was no दूसरा shirt. हाँ, there was no. There are so many things behind the scenes. You will be shocked. Amitabh Bachchan has said this in the interview. In Google, you will find out. You talk about Diwar, Amitabh.
All people liked that.
That became fashion.
Yeah.
That became fashion. And in fact, even today, you see blue and denim, this color, it has become fashion. And khaki pant, nobody used to use. It used to be supposed to be by people who are sweeping roads.
But now
It has become fashion. Now khaki is expensive than any other normal cotton. And people are using
now,
it.
people are doing contrast metal.
Contrast. So that was the reason behind that shirt getting knotted. So every thing has a story behind it. Everything has a story behind it. So anyway, so now this photograph which I want to tell you, this photograph you must have seen lot many times. You must have seen, right? So now in this photograph there are so many things which this photograph talks about, which we have to read. Like a picture talks many things and we have to read that. If we can't read that, then it is not. So can you tell me what are like the Shankar Bhagwan, Parvati, Ganpati and Kartikeya? What else you can see? Like the photo wants to convey something. नहीं घोड़ा किधर है? नहीं घोड़ा नहीं. नंदी ये नंदी. Lion. लेकिन नंदी किसका? Rat is there, right? Peacock. हाँ? Snake is there.
बोट नहीं है.
नहीं बोट नहीं. वो सिंहासन पे बैठे हो लोग.
They are all sitting together patiently.
Yeah. But anything you want to see? Something which is very abnormal.
They are in harmony with each other.
Yes. But what implies that? Like what signifies that?
That
They are in harmony.
You have to believe in like every.
No, but this photo talks about you should live, you should coexist happily. But how? What photograph signifies that? What portion of photo signifies that you should coexist peacefully? You should not fight amongst each other.
अलग-अलग religion का है कि ये
नहीं.
They are the praise of each other, right?
Right.
ये lion, guy और ये सब को खा सकता
See,
है.
ideally lion should eat,
Right.
but he is not interested.
Right.
That is a cow also is safe, even in the company of lion. Now anything else?
He is not looking that.
Yeah, he is not
on
looking
this
there.
side.
Yeah, that is why they are calm and cool. Anything else like this similar? Anything else you can do?
Snake and rat.
Either
Snake and rat, and peacock and snake.
Snake.
So if you actually see all these vehicles of gods, they are food for each other. Like cow is a food for this lion, rat is a food for snake, and peacock will eat snake. But they are coexisting. So that this photograph actually gives you a message that we should not try to cut each other and kill each other. Let us coexist. That is what the happiness will be all about.
live and let live.
Live and let live. This is where I met Akshay Kumar once in JW Marriott. Okay. So law of least effort. Here also least effort is why, whenever I want to meet anybody, big person, so I have gone to their homes and or maybe I have been in hotel and they came there. And believe me, it happens smoothly. People think that tomorrow you go to Yash Chopra's home, he might take you inside. You go to maybe Shah Rukh Khan's home, he might take you. But we believe that he will not take us inside. Nobody actually knocks. Even I went to Anil Ambani's residence in Pedder Road, Antilla. And I just went and said, I want to meet Anil Bhai. Who are you? Prashant Sawant. They called somebody, Prashant. Nobody but say wants to meet. Then the person there, he said, you ask him to come to Maker 3, Maker 4, where the office is. I said, okay. But it should not stop you from asking. We assume that he will not meet me. So why to assume? Na? Let us.
Before making this thing, we assume that nahi hoga.
Yeah, we assume, and then we fail before the match starts. Before the match starts, we are mentally failed. Ki nahi hone wala.
Create a wall between.
Yeah, and that is the biggest, because most of the time. Even the full form of fear, right? Fear. Last time I said false.
Appears in
appearing real. Na?
E.
False. Face everything appearing real.
हाँ वो भी है, but false evidence appearing real.
I learned from
So false evidence appearing real, false evidence appearing real. So that is fear. So the evidence is false, but it happens. Now law of least effort we'll talk about. Now see what this sentence is. An integral being knows without going. He doesn't go there, but he knows what is happening. Sees without looking. Okay, his eyes are closed, but he can see that. And accomplishes without doing. He doesn't do anything. Lao Tzu is the big saint go on back. He said that. But integral being means what? Integral being will do anything without moving his finger. But what is that integral being?
being with yourself.
But integral with whom? What?
With your own soul or something.
No. Like we have been talking about these laws, what they talk about, we should be one with whom?
Our soul.
No, that is our we. That we should be one with, we should merge or
God conscious.
that universe.
Thought,
Like
mind.
no, when I say there is a gap between thoughts is connection to God. So integral human being is integrated with cosmic energy, universe. So he is connected. He is God at that time. So when somebody totally blanks his mind and is totally is in control of his thought process and everything, he is an integral human being. He will see what is happening in the next room. There are programs which have happened where the person, I don't know what they do, but after they will say, okay, you call your home, you just close your eyes and they give some exercise, and then he will imagine what his son is doing. He will imagine what his son is doing, and he will call, and he is doing the same thing. That some program is there. I have not attended that, but I have heard that they do something like that. So that is how they control. That he is able to see that what is happening there. Telepathy. So when you can control that thought process, when you go to that gap, you become integral with cosmic energy, and that energy will be able to show you everything, or maybe you will know without actually looking. You will see without looking. You will understand. You will achieve anything without actually doing anything. We feel that कुछ करना ही पड़ेगा तभी होगा. In this they talk about even if you don't do anything, everything can be achieved. That is something people will not do. हजम नहीं होगा. Because people think कि how can it happen? Because we have been brought up on the concept of working very hard to achieve anything. पढ़ाई करो, पढ़ाई करो, पढ़ाई करो. But actually, if somebody goes into understand this law properly, he will have to have anything to do, but he will achieve. For example, what is miracle? Miracle is a classic example of least efforts.
Correct.
It's a classic example of least efforts. Now you want 1 lakh rupees badly, and suddenly the lottery, you get a lottery and you are having 1 lakh. That can happen. The whole world will conspire to give it to you if we are integrally connected with something, right? So
Sometimes what happens, we have a problem. When you think over this, we can't just find the solution. When you make your mind calm, go into meditation, and suddenly the solution comes in. This is the answer.
In fact, in this law, what I will tell you, basically we are all energy. Everything is energy, and when we think about something, we give energy to that something. So if somebody thinks he is having lack of money, and if he keeps on thinking about lack of money, he is giving energy to that concept of lack of money, and that lack of money grows, that it remains lack of money, and that is the biggest problem. Suppose you don't have penny in your pocket, but believing you have lots of money, that will actually make you rich. So what you want, you should feel that you have it right now, and that is most difficult part.
Yeah.
That is most difficult. If you see, people focus on problems, not on solutions. And people focus on what they don't want rather than what they want. What they don't want, we are actually thinking of what we don't want.
What you focus on it gets strengthened.
Yeah, what? Yes. ऐसा बोलते हैं, what you inspect gets improved. What you inspect will get improved. So, because you are putting energy to that. So lack of money, now people are thinking, अरे job गया तो क्या होगा? How the EMIs will be paid? But again, he is telling himself then लफड़ा होने वाला है. And then things. It can be anything now, because the moment this law, suppose somebody understands, this law talks about any problem is a seed of opportunity. So when you have the mindset of looking at problem as a seed of opportunity, you will never be unhappy.
One door closes, then
Another 10 doors may open. 10 doors may open. But actually what happens, when the door gets closed, we are so upset about the door getting closed. खोलते नहीं, हमने दूसरा door देखते ही नहीं. Because this door is closed, the person is crying, "Arey, why this door is closed now?" There are 2 more doors which are bigger and beautiful. He will not even look at it because he is crying about this. होता है.
That is why Louis says, door closes, door opens.
Door closes.
Door closes, door I open.
You attended that program? Complete program?
They complete.
Okay, that small one, which we were there together. Very good. In fact, that mirror work I have started.
I think we started.
So, we look at mirror and say, I love you. First thing you have to love yourself. Most of the time, we don't love ourselves. We don't approve ourselves. And that's the biggest problem for all the problems. You look, believe me, mirror will get cracked also sometime because the kind of hate we have for ourselves is unbelievable. So, in that book, it is given to you look at mirror and in the morning, take deep breath and 7 times you say, I love you. I love you. I love. In the sense, it is like, I love you, Prashant, I love you. I love you, Prashant, I love you. I love you, Prashant. And deep breath, you have to say that. With all intensity, looking only into eyes. And you will actually cry also. And what she does, you know, after this program, you come out, suppose you are talking about this in bathroom or somewhere, then you write down how you felt. And there is so much of rejection we have for ourselves. You try doing that. Your eyes will lower down. You cannot do it for 7 times. We feel become uncomfortable. How can I, what I am talking? Because I don't love myself. We don't love ourselves because we see our problems more than anything else.
So immediately we reflect into problematic mode.
No, we don't look at what is there.
Even our body also. Yes, ये थोड़ा अलग है. Right, left, not balanced.
Always. Even Amitabh Bachchan says. In fact, Amitabh Bachchan's style hai na, that is a problem. It is not his style. There is a problem. His shoulder has a problem which is slanted down. But it became fashion segment. Everybody is doing that. So anything, you know. Okay.
He made his weaknesses strength.
That is out.
You say
Yes. So basically, this least effort talks about we have to give minimum efforts and get maximum results. But how to do that? That we will discuss. There are. See, this is excellent law again. The steps which they have given, if somebody follows religiously. In fact, I would request you one thing, all of you, if you can when in the morning you get up, you write down 10 things to be thankful for. It can be anything. It can be toothbrush, and you write toothbrush and say why you are thankful for that. And in the mind you say 3 times thank you, thank you, thank you. 3 times. Why 3 times? Because if somebody like a man, a woman, 2, and then the third, the child comes. So whenever something has to be produced, 2 and 1, 3 people, that is what it is. So when you talk about anything to remain with you continuous, so we have to do it thrice. So when you say toothpaste, then you say because I could clean my teeth, thank you, thank you, thank you, in the mind. Like suppose you eat something, suppose not anything, but you write down, and we genuinely thank, and you will be shocked. Sometimes we feel what to say thank you about, but there are so many things. For example, a pen. Or this air, chair, many things. In fact, somebody came to me, he had
We take for granted. Generally, we all these things.
we take for granted. In fact, somebody came to me, he had a problem with his wife and they were fighting and she left and now she's coming back and all that. But when he met me, he was telling me these are the problems. These are the problems. So I said, you tell me 10 things good about her. Because something, you have told me 100 bad, there may be something, 10 things I am asking you, tell me something. Then somehow he told me 2 things. He said we should look from 2 to 20. This will remain, if you keep on talking 100, 150 it will happen 150. So we never ever, because that time he actually sat and thought, what is good about her? And nobody has ever done that. And when you think, you will get 100 things. 100 things. So people don't, our focus is, when I show the donut to somebody, people look at the whole, not the donut.
And immediately our resistance comes down.
Comes down, yes.
When you see
good things, yes. We become closer to that
person.
person.
Yoga technique, it is known as Pratipaksh Bhavana in yoga.
Okay.
And they give you, they make you study this, explain to you how it happens. And there was a very good example, like one lady was complaining about her mother-in-law constantly that I cannot see a single thing good in her. Not a single thing. You are telling me to focus on one thing, but I can tell you there is not a single. And she was asked how is your husband? She said, yeah, he's good. He's good to me. How he came into existence.
Yes. At least something, yes.
Something is there to appreciate her.
In fact, there is one more story where that woman goes to somebody and sadhu, and she says, my mother-in-law, she is actually harassing me. And then the sadhu says, I know she is going to die in 3 months. So don't worry about that, only 3 months you have to manage. and for 3 months give her happiness, no? Because anyway she is going. So make sure you give her maximum happiness, so that whenever she is there, she will not have grudge against you. Whatever is happening, give her happiness. Only 3 months you have to manage, 90 days. She says okay, and that day onwards she started behaving very good with her. And slowly, because she was good, mother-in-law started behaving good, and they became thick friends. On 85th day, she went back and said, "I am feeling bad." She's going. He said, "She's not going anywhere. She's not going anywhere." That bad mother-in-law went off. Now good is there. So enjoy with her. Yeah, कीड़ा गया पेड़ा आ गया सब. And that is what it is, because we think we are going to live indefinitely for 1000 years. That is why if somebody says like what 1 year is what 50 Sundays or 52 Sundays. 10 years is 520 Sundays. 10 years. Even suppose he is going to live for another 50 years, for example. So 50 into 500. That's all. So then we realize ki what is happening. Khalas.
Very short.
Very short. And then all this, like Steve Jobs used to think, na, if today is the last day. In fact, that is again a classic example of law of attraction. He attracted death. Believe me, he attracted, because he used to say, if today is my last day, what I will do? And it became like he died. Because what you want comes to you. Because he always used to tell himself, today is the last day. Let me. I know, yes, that is there. I am not saying that what he did was excellent. And in fact, this strategy also is very good, but he has to be tweaked.
Motivate yourself.
Yeah.
Do something, because if it is next 2-3 days you are going to die, do it within that 2 days.
Yes.
So for exercise it is good, but you do it, as you rightly said, continuously.
The subconscious mind believed and he cried. Actually, that is what happens. So he used to always.
Thought you can put it in different words.
Different words, yes.
I don't know how long I am going to. That is also meaning is one of the.
No, something, even that he should not say. Something positive.
Something positive you can frame the.
Yeah, one should. Like Mother Teresa, somebody went to her and say, "You join our anti-war rally." She refused. She said, "I will join pro-peace rally." So I don't want anti. I don't want to utter war word. So when I utter war, like I saw that Khatron Ke Khiladi, Arjun Kapoor was saying, "Don't panic, don't worry, don't panic." She will panic.
What panic has come?
How I panic? Because people don't understand that don't, and panic is panic. Okay. So that, in fact, in life insurance, the word was, the name of this business was, you will be shocked, death insurance. Yeah, 300 bags, death insurance. Then people thought it is negative. Actually, it is death insurance. If you die, what? What is life? और मरने के बाद ही जो भी होगा ना, तो business is about death. So death insurance. Then they said it is very negative. So let us call it life insurance. And that is what is life insurance. In fact, it is not life insurance also. It is income insurance. If somebody dies, paisa, मतलब suppose he, God forbid he goes, his salary will not go. His salary, or anybody, suppose he goes, his salary will not. God forbid, dying on it, don't worry. So whenever we talk, in fact, you should, in the morning you should get up and imagine that there is a birthday cake and there is 100 written, 100 wala cake, big one, and you are cutting and your kids and everyone there.
With good health.
A good health. So you have a glass of beer there, that means you are in good health. You are drinking at this age also, and cut the cake and you are eating, that means you are in good health, or you are eating sweet. And then you imagine your wife a bit older, then the kids, their husband, wives, their kids. So that you have to imagine in the morning first thing, then you will reach 100. Healthy. वो कहीं से हो जाएगा. Anything can happen. Anything happens. Anything can happen within no time like this. Okay. Now nature's intelligence, like what we are talking about, nature functions with effortless ease and abundant carefreeness. It is ease. Like the grass doesn't try to grow, it grows. Birds, they don't try to fly, they fly. So everything becomes, see, if you look at nature, it is so smooth and carefree and easy. You will not find a flower desperate to come out and trying to bloom. It just automatically happens. So ideally, we are supposed to be happy as a nature, but we have created all problems for ourselves. So our intrinsic nature is happiness. And you know why we are unhappy? Because we stop loving people, yourself. We stop loving. We have stopped loving and we have started judging. The moment we start judging, we cannot love somebody. So loving is not only loving a woman or a girl or somebody, loving even the chair or the situation in your life, whatever, you have to love. So that I will come to, like whatever problem anybody is having in his life, first you have to accept that and you will love that problem. Then you will be able to solve the solution, because we are so caught up with criticizing that situation that we don't know the solution, because our energy is only cursing about that. My door is closed, why it is closed, somebody should have opened, and we are trying somebody else to come and do it. If we accept the door is closed, let me think what to do next, you will find a solution. But we don't. Now see, people crib. Why people don't crib that I cannot fly? Suppose somebody is in Borivali, he said, I could have flown directly to Churchgate in 5 minutes. Yeah, God, what is this? We don't crib, because we know nothing can be done about it. And the people, if you see minutely, it's the biggest observation I'm making, people creep about the things which they can solve. They don't want to solve and they creep. चाय पे टपरी पे खड़ा रह के, अरे क्या यार पगार लेट हो रहा है, अरे क्या है कंपनी देता नहीं, सेल ही नहीं होता है, कुछ नहीं होता है, अरे तोड़ दे उसका कुछ कर, या डू समथिंग. नो, विच इज आवर हैंड्स, बट वी विल ओनली क्रिप. If we should creep about gravity. Why gravity is there? I could have flown. That is okay. It is in our hands. हो सकता है. These are miracles. In fact, I will tell you now, the things which are happening today. Few years back, those would have been miracle.
100 years पहले को सोचा नहीं था
मोबाइल आएगा.
Now,
like if you see the film scripts also will change. In the movie Trishul, Amitabh Bachchan, the Sanjeev Kumar gives instruction to Prem Chopra that kill Amitabh. And then he has given the instruction. Amitabh comes, he gives the whole money back to him, like जो उसका लिया था वापस देता है, जो जमीन वगैरह का कागजात. और उसके बाद में अमिताभ बच्चन टेल्स हिम कि वैसे तो आपके पास आपकी सारी जायदाद सही, लेकिन आपसे बड़ा गरीब मैंने दुनिया में देखा नहीं. क्योंकि जिस औरत के ये दौलत के लिए आपने मेरी माँ को छोड़ा था, आज उसी माँ की तरफ से वही दौलत तुमको वापस दे रहा हूँ. और फिर बोलता है तुमसे बड़ा गरीब मैंने देखा नहीं. और दैट इज सी सलीम जावेद, हैट्स ऑफ टू देम, दे इन्वेंटेड अ वर्ड. नाजायज औलाद होती है. ये सर आप मेरे नाजायज बाप हो, आप मेरे नाजायज बाप हो. माय गॉड, आदमी रोंगटे खड़े हो जाएंगे. नाजायज बाप. हाँ क्या हुआ? हाँ क्या हुआ? सॉरी, हाँ बोलो बोलो.
उसका एक मींस वो भी था कि उसको उसकी माँ से इतना ये हो गया था कि वो मींस एक अटैचमेंट है मम्मी और उसका सन का. बहुत अच्छा रिलेशन बताया, थोड़ा ही था.
I know. Then why he says that? Because that woman is loyal to him. Vaida Rahman only loves Sanjay Kumar. When Sanjay Kumar rejects her, she doesn't go and marry somewhere else. She gives birth to the child and becomes his mother, and she remains his mother, and she is not going to any other man. And this man for money gets married to somebody else. इसके लिए आप मेरे नाजायज बाप हो. And when it says that, Amitabh says, and he goes out. And that time then he realizes what I have done. I have asked Prem Chopra to kill Amitabh. Then what to do? Then he calls, and when he calls, Prem Chopra left his office. They say अभी है नहीं गए. There is no mobile. If mobile was there, the script would have been different. Don't kill him, खलास. Yeah, ऐसे में don't kill him.
आप बच गए.
है कि नहीं? Because the technology had changed could change the script. Like Trishul part 2 आएगा, तो again we'll have to change.
आपको देंगे बनाने.
हाँ बनाऊँगा. See, miracle is the expression of least efforts. Whenever you find something happening with least efforts, we call it miracle.
Air.
Air. In fact, we don't know air, but one day people will buy oxygen masks. And अरे ऑक्सीजन है क्या, थोड़ा मेरे को देना, ऐसा भी हो जाएगा, मेरा खत्म हो रहा है, पैसा ले, ये भी हो सकता है. क्योंकि आज चार्ज करना है, मोबाइल का से चार्जर हो रहा है, ऐसा हो. आजकल बोलते ना, व्हाट्सएप पे आया था, अभी किसी घर पे जाओगे ना, वो चाय नहीं पूछता, चार्जर चाहिए क्या, ऐसा बोल रहा है, थैंक यू, पहले चार्जर दो, चाय जाने दो. ऐसा हो गया, तो खत्म हो रहा है बैटरी, व्हाट्सएप मार रहा है, उसको चाहिए चार्जर. Okay, nature is held together by the energy of love. When we seek power or control over others, we waste energy. What is happening is actually energy of love is everything. If we are in love with everything around us, that is the biggest form of energy. But we waste our energy in doing something else, like having control over others, trying to be better than somebody else. It is said that people think what you have is what you are. What you have is what you are. Suppose you have Mercedes, you are good. You have address in your residence in Pedder Road, you are good. So your possessions define you. That is why people are running after possessions. But I should have this, I should have that. Because people equate what you have with what you are. Actually, we are totally different than what we have, because those possessions can come and go. We are what we are. So basically, our energy goes into controlling others and trying to amass certain things. ऐसा बोलते हैं ना कि we generally buy things which we don't want to impress people we don't like. We buy things which we don't want actually. Like mobile is mobile, yaar. Why to buy 60,000 rupees mobile? So we buy things which we don't want to impress people whom we don't like. Because इसका थोड़ा सर नीचे करने का, देख मेरा मोबाइल, हाँ देख मेरे पास कितना है. So actually that is the problem. Because ideally we need एक 800 रुपये का मोबाइल भी काम चल जाएगा, लेकिन वो शर्म आएगा, शर्म, I hate this guy, लेकिन वो बोलेगा ये फालतू है, तो I have to get a better mobile.
People using things like a tools.
हाँ tools.
अच्छा दिखने के लिए, किसी को जलाने के लिए, whatever.
In fact they say right, mobile is not mobile, it has become status symbol.
हाँ राइट, सिर्फ आईफोन है वो एकदम बड़ा है,
आईफोन बड़ा होगा.
मोबाइल एकदम मतलब
ऐसा ना घड़ी का व्हाट्सएप पे आया था, घड़ी का दे वर डिस्कसिंग नॉर्मल टाइटन वॉच टॉकिंग टू रोलेक्स. तो आपने फ़र्क क्या है? तो टाइटन को बोला कि मैं वक्त बताता हूँ और रोलेक्स अच्छा वक्त बताता है कि तेरा अच्छा वक्त आया है कि नहीं, आपका अच्छा, दैट इज व्हाट इट. टाइम तो टाइम है ना, टाइम तो किसके लिए खड़ा नहीं का. तुम वो अमिताभ हो 8 ही बजेगा अभी, नहीं तुम रोलेक्स लेके बोलेगा मेरे रोलेक्स में 8 बजा, तो मैं शाना हूँ. ऐसा attention to ego consumes greatest amount of energy. That is the biggest problem, because most of the time, no, it is when I'm saying it is not that I don't have ego. This is a big process that you have to remove ego. And ego, see most of the time we are doing, we are, see बहुत बड़ी बात बोल रहा हूँ, we are trying to project what we are not. We are trying to project what we are not. ना बोलो.
मुकद्दर का सिकंदर में डायलॉग है, रेखा उसको बोलती है विनोद खन्ना, वही डायलॉग.
कौन सा नहीं डायलॉग क्या
आपने जो बोला ना,
ओके
आप देखना बहुत अच्छा डायलॉग.
नहीं उसमें एक मुकद्दर का सिकंदर का याद आया करके, विनोद खन्ना गोज टू रेखा एंड सेज कि उसको छोड़ दे
तभी बोलते हो.
हाँ नहीं उसके डायलॉग ऐसा है कि वो तुमको कितना पैसा चाहिए, एंड विनोद खन्ना सेज सम फिगर जो भी 1-2 लाख जो भी बोला है. तो द डायलॉग विच इज गिवन टू रेखा ट्रिमेंडस, व्हाट इज नो, इतने में तुम उसकी तस्वीर नहीं बेचू, इतने में उसकी तस्वीर नहीं बेचूंगा. अमिताभ की क्या बात कर जबरदस्त जबरदस्त. ओके तो इसमें ईगो, इट इज सेड दैट बिजनेस पीपल हैव ईगो एंड द प्रॉब्लम इज ईगो, दिस इज गो इन दैट वर्ड ईगो. सो इफ यू हैव ईगो यू गो आउट ऑफ द बिजनेस और वी गो आउट ऑफ द डीलिंग. Then other thing of ego is the full form is aging God out. Aging God out. When you have ego, you are actually putting God out of your mind. So when God goes out, you are not integral human being. Like I said, you have to be integral human being with universe. So when God is not there, you are not integrated with the God. So you are prone to other problems. Like so many other things will come. And there is one more dialogue for ego is, it is said that either you feed your ego or feed your family. So either of these two, you cannot feed your ego and then you cannot feed your family if you are feeding your ego. कि मैं इसको कैसे बात करूँ? How should I go and talk to him?
And that is why all these salesmen should keep that in mind.
Absolutely right.
How to ask.
Absolutely right. Absolutely right.
That ego, if you are not, you cannot feed your.
In fact, I am doing sales training. My sales training, which nobody does in India. I don't know whether in the world also. What I do is I take sales people out in the field. We go to railway station, we go to metro, we go to 5-star hotel, we go to film city, we go to rich residences, and we talk to anybody. You show me the person, I will tell you how to talk to him. We have actually stopped Mercedes on the road, and I have spoken to the person sitting inside the Mercedes. So unless the ego is crushed, because the person, it is not that he comes and gale lagao by room. Sometimes he says, I don't want to talk to you. It's okay. But when the ego is out of the equation, you succeed. Because in any dealing, you in business, sales, whatever, you will face failure more than successes. So every 9-10 failures will get one success. So person is afraid of failure. Why? No, because of ego. His ego gets crushed. Rejection. People commit suicide because ego gets crushed. So the boy, that girl rejects the boy in the love affair. The boy will commit suicide because his ego gets crushed. ऐसा नहीं कि उसको और कोई लड़की नहीं मिलने वाले. But he feels कि I am totally. How can she reject me? Or she feels vice versa, and they kill themselves. So ego has to be crushed. In China, there is one management college where in the last year, before they get the certificate, believe me, you will be shocked. These boys have to actually go and beg on the street, and they are given marks. Whatever you beg, fatawa kapda, and you collect the, and they will watch you how you have done that. And better you do, more marks you will get. And because as a businessman, you should not have that ego. And if you have that ego, like Dhirubhai Ambani used to say, I don't have ego. Dhirubhai Ambani said very big thing. He said, suppose this guy is the top guy and these other guys are just nobody but hanging around him. I have to give equal respect to everybody. Because this guy will ask him, kya kare? and he says good, you will say okay, done. So Dhirubhai said, I made friends with everybody. Pune से top आदमी तक, and he always gave something. Law. Dhirubhai is actually embodiment of all these laws.
लोग डोनेशन में बहुत करते हैं.
हाथ जो भी मिला उसके हाथ में रख दिया कुछ ना कुछ. तो he cannot move, कुछ नहीं बोल सकता उसके खिलाफ. But he used to, if you see, that was art of giving. The law of giving, you are just giving. It has to come back. It has to come back. Okay. So ego is the thing which consumes energy. See, when our actions are motivated by love, the energy multiplies and accumulates, and this surplus energy, when we are doing anything with the, in the mind we should have love, then the energy multiplies, and that energy will give you anything, good health, good wealth, whatever, because energy will give you anything. Suppose you are not into egoistic state of mind, so you will have more energy, and then if you put your energy into accumulating money, surplus money, that will go up. Because you have energy to put there. No? Now what is happening today, energy gets depleted. In fact, in that book it is written that 99.9% times people are actually trying to show what they are not, and they are wasting their energy and doing something which is bullshit. Once you have the goal, you put your energy. वो तो है, लेकिन whatever you want to achieve, you imagine that it is achieved and put your energy in that. It will come faster to you, rather than if it doesn't happen, what? If we put energy there, if he comes in between, what? How should I control these people? Then there's a problem. In fact, there's a movie Azhar which is released now. Azhar movie is not that good, but I watch all the movies, so I watch this also. There are so many learnings also in that movie. So many learnings, like leadership lessons. Like he was Raj Singh Dungarpur calls him and says, "Captain banoge," and he's shocked. When the team Ravi Shastri and all those guys were, and he says, "Okay, banta hu." Then he says कि जा उधर मनोज प्रभाकर खेल रहा है, बुलाओ. तो ही कॉल मनोज, बोल दे किधर. हाँ, बोला मेरे को नहीं सुनाई दिया, वो बाजू में खड़ा है. आई कुडंट हियर, क्या बोल रहा, जोर से बोल. तो मनोज, वो मनोज सुनता ही नहीं. फिर वो टेप रिकॉर्डर रखा है उधर, चालू किया. देन स्टेडियम का नॉइस, बोला इससे भी ज़्यादा नॉइस होता है, अब बोला. देन ही शाउट्स, बोला कैप्टन बनने का ऐसे ही नहीं, मनोज करके नहीं होगा, यू हैव टू बी स्ट्रांग इन दैट. राजचंद्र डुंगरपुर वाज वेरी एग्रेसिव. Okay, and there in that movie there is one dialogue which I have liked, which I have been propagating to people in India, and that dialogue is, जब फर्क नहीं पड़ता तभी फर्क पड़ता है, जब कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता तभी फर्क पड़ता है. मतलब अगर इसने मेरा इंसल्ट किया, मेरे को फर्क नहीं पड़ा, तब मेरी जिंदगी में फर्क पड़ेगा, अच्छा फर्क पड़ेगा. Are you getting me? जब कुछ कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा मेरे को, अगर कोई मेरा इंसल्ट कर रहा है, बिकॉज आई डोंट हैव ईगो, सो मेरे को फर्क नहीं पड़ रहा है, देन आई विल बिकम बेटर. So, जब कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता तभी फर्क पड़ता है. लेट गो. मतलब कोई कुछ भी बोला, आई डोंट केयर, उसका क्या होता है, सब लोग गाली देता है उसको, ये सब होता है ना. तो ही कम्स टू पॉइंट वेयर ही स्टॉप्स रिएक्टिंग. उसको लगता है भी चलो यार ये लोग मेरे को चोरी समझ रहा है, ठीक है, तो उसको फर्क पड़ना बंद हो जाता है. देन ही बिकम्स, ही विंस द केस, एक्चुअली वन द केस फाइनली. पिक्चर में नहीं, एक्चुअली केस जीता हो, इसका पैसा वो कैसा भी करके जीता ही होगा, वो बात हो रही है. लेकिन वो तो इनफैक्ट सी इन दैट मूवी इट इज शोन, not a single colleague of his came for his rescue, not a single cricketer came from his side. That means what? Nobody came.
Movie is a fiction. उन्होंने movie
नहीं, actually कोई आया
actually
नहीं आया कोई. It is okay, it is fiction because they said we have twisted some facts and all, but nobody came actually. Nobody talks about him. Who talks about him? I don't know what is reality, सच्चाई क्या है.
एक बार है ना YouTube पे फॉलन हीरोज करके एक आर्टिकल है, वो पूरा देखो तो अजहर कपिल जो सबका रियलिटी खबर पड़ जाएगी.
नहीं, सी दीज आर ऑल पॉइंट्स ऑफ व्यू. अगर मैं बोलूँ ये अच्छा है, ये बोलेंगे या बुरा है, आवर पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू. पीपल सब मेरा सुना तो बोलेंगे ये अच्छा है, इनका सुनेंगे, अमिताभ बोलेगा तो अच्छा अच्छा. सो इट इज ऑल, क्या हुआ गॉड नोज, वी रियल डोंट नो. लेकिन और एक बात मूवी में अच्छा है, सी लेट अस टेक द टेक अवेज. तो उसमें जो व्हेन ही स्मॉल किड एंड प्लेइंग क्रिकेट एंड समबडी कम्स एंड अब्यूज, अरे ये क्या खेलेगा, ऐसा कोई बोलते, तो ही गोज एंड ही ट्राइज टू फाइट. दैट टाइम इज हाँ, the grandfather comes in real life also. His grandfather actually raised him, and grandfather says कि जब तू मुंह से बोलेगा ये सुनेगा, लेकिन तेरा बल्ला बोलेगा दुनिया सुनेगा. तो पिक्चर की बात बोल रहा हूँ मैं तो बाकी कुछ देखा ही नहीं पिक्चर से. नहीं, वो एक्चुअली अजहर ने भी बोला है इंटरव्यू में, लेकिन डायलॉग अच्छा है ना. वॉट एवर वी आर डूइंग वी हैव टू डू इन सच अ वे दैट दुनिया देखेगी. इसको बोल के क्या फायदा. हाँ, योर एक्शंस स्पीक्स लाउडर देन वर्ड्स. क्या अपने पास टाइम है.
कभी-कभी कोई बैट्समैन बॉलर को छक्का मार देता है तो अच्छा बहुत बॉलर दिखता है. तो बैट्समैन शुड नॉट से एनीथिंग बट give the reply by
Right, playing. Yes, yes. Okay, three components to the. I mean, now this least efforts. What are the three components which we should understand? And if we use that, we will be able to have this law in practice. Okay, the first component is acceptance. So we have to tell yourself, we have to tell ourselves that today I will accept people, situations, circumstances, and events as they occur. I will accept everything.
कभी कभी क्या होता है कि कोई पर्सन को वो कुछ ना कुछ बोलते रहता है कि तू ऐसा है then how should we ignore it?
ओके, इसमें ये 3 स्टेप में मालूम पड़ेगा, आपको बता दो. ये 3 स्टेप से देखो क्या है. पहला तो you have to accept. But why we should accept this? Why you think it should be like why should you accept any situation which is happening in our life?
Because without accepting the reality, you cannot move.
And you cannot change that.
Not improve ना.
Yeah.
वो वैसा है तो फिर आप
Yes.
improve करते हैं.
In fact, you are right. If you want to solve any problem, first thing you have to understand the problem. If you understand the problem, then solution will come. If you don't understand how. But this law actually talks about, see, when you accept situation, because the whole world is as it should be, because it's controlled by that universe. So whatever is happening through his consent. So don't struggle against it.
Okay.
So whatever is happening, it is his wish. Okay. So there is no point. Let us accept. So what it says is, this moment is as it should be. This moment is as it should be, because the whole universe is as it should be. The whole universe is as it should be, and that is how it is. It is like that only. You cannot do anything. Same ऐसे ही होगा. Whatever you do, it is like this only. We have to accept कि situation ऐसे ही होगा. Then we'll come to the next step. But first you have to accept कि situation, circumstance, people, events, whatever it is, we have to accept. Yes, it is there. Because it should be like this only. Because it is universe who is doing it. They are creators. Yes. And see what happens is when we struggle against this moment, we struggle against the whole universe. We struggle against this particular moment. We are struggling against universe, and you cannot struggle against universe. Then you are gone. Then you are in conflict with the universe, and we should be one with universe. We should be integral with universe. When you want to achieve something, what he says, you will see without looking. You will accomplish without doing. When you are integral human being. But when you are struggling against that moment, you are not integral. You are away from that universe is here. You are here.
काम नहीं होगा.
नहीं होगा. You are in. When you accept, then you become integral, because universe wants it to be like this. So you also say, I also want it to be like this. So you become one. You become integral. You are getting now. So that is first thing is you have to accept. Okay. Now then responsibility. See, when we are upset about the situation, there is very good line. When we are reacting to the situation, we are actually not reacting to that situation. We are reacting to our feeling about that situation. You think about it. So we get some feeling because of that thing which has happened. And if you can control that response, responsibility matlab response ability. The ability to give right response is responsibility. And responsibility, generally we tend to pass the buck. Because of him it has happened, because we don't take responsibility. First thing, we have to accept the situation and then take responsibility. In fact, it says, don't blame anyone, including yourself. I should have done like this. This wouldn't have happened. Don't blame, there is no point. It is done now, accept. Now let us see what can be done. We generally keep on blaming ourselves, and blaming ourselves also is a problem. It is dampener. It is guilt, and guilt will actually, it is cancer of the soul. We cannot move ahead because it will become big burden in our legs. So we have to take the responsibility and see why I am saying this. Something happens, our response, for example, a boy and girl, if you go and see they are in the hotel and they are doing something. So see the response. You know they are married, your responsibility different. And they are not married, response. Same situation. So our feelings, we are reacting to the feelings. These guys are not married and they are in the hotel. What they are doing here? So this feeling, and they are married, so what? They are normal, they have come. So our feeling, we are reacting to our feeling inside. We are not reacting to because they don't care what you think. And they are not going to change what they are going to do. We have to understand what my feeling is. लेकिन कोई भी situation आता है, you have to read your feeling. Why I am thinking like this? Like law of karma. Pause and understand why.
कभी-कभी वो feeling habit हो जाती है.
So that is what law of karma is all about. This habit is the problem. Habit is reacting without thinking, reacting, not responding.
And that is, we are only responsible because we think over period
Ah.
continuously, and that becomes habit.
Right. That is Pavlovian thinking. They used to ring the bell and the dog used to salivate. So what used to happen? They used to ring the bell and they used to give some food to the dog. He used to eat. So they kept on doing that. And one day they rang the bell and didn't give food to him. So he started salivating. He was upset. He wanted food because he is used to having food when the bell rings. Likewise, we are used to reacting in certain way. If he is angry with me, I will react in such a way. And we don't know it is happening. Our subconscious mind is doing that because it is ingrained inside. But if we can stop, pull back and just ask ourselves, is it right? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it bring happiness and fulfillment to all the people concerned? If you stop and ask, then that is response ability.
That gap is important.
That gap, yes. And then if you keep on doing this, that becomes normal. Like Amitabh will not react. Amitabh will not react. He will stop and think. Sachin will not react because that is the way they have been doing. But Kamli might react. So that is the habit. We are actually slaves of our habits. If a habit is good, we are good. Habit is bad, gone. So likewise, it is. And so it is. We should not blame anybody, not the situation, not ourselves also. Okay. See, responsibility, as I told you, have a creative response to a situation. We should have creative response to the situation. Okay. Now, what is creative response? Why it is creative response?
We have created something. So
No, this is in this word creative is.
Because, creative maybe he might have referred because of you see the big picture when you pause and then think it over and then give your response. At that time you see the big picture.
Yeah, but in this case, you know what happens? Generally, the things which created the problems, the same things will not be able to solve the problem.
Acha, okay.
We should have creative response in the some solution which is unique.
What best you can do in that situation?
And best and unique, maybe somebody has never thought about it. Somebody never thought about it. That kind of
Change the situation.
situation. Now see, long back when we were young, that time 100 or 200 theaters the movies used to come because of that aluminum canister, and aluminum was very expensive and that was very bulky to carry from here to there. That was a problem. So pictures were 12, 3 like that was the problem. So what was the creative solution which came later on? Now today the movie is uploaded and people are downloading the movie from server. That is a creative response to that problem. So today, out of instead of 200 theaters, the same time the movie gets released in 5,000 theaters. Earlier people used to say silver jubilee 25 weeks, golden jubilee 50 weeks. Today that is not the case. Today they will call you pagal, kya 50 दिन 50 हफ्ता कौन 50 weeks is impossible to think of. That is a year. Today movie is open and gone in 3 days. Friday, Saturday, Sunday it will make 300 crores. Bajrangi Bhaijaan 3 days 300 crores. Happy New Year 200 crores in 3 days. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Because this 200 prints and this is 5,000 prints.
पूरे वर्ल्ड में आ गया ना.
आ गया. Now one step ahead I will tell you which will happen tomorrow. Now this is 5,000 screens. I am looking at 50 crore screens. Which are those?
Direct to home.
DTH, direct to home. Now it will come to your TV and pay. So you pay and you will have a code. You put that code, you will see that movie.
Even Vishwarupam was to come that way only.
Which one?
Vishwarupam, part 1.
Yeah.
मगर वो हो नहीं सका, वो theatre में ही.
But that is the future. That will come because
Everybody is not having.
at the same time movies real expenses in theater.
Yeah.
Like I went, some movies I go to theater. Sairat, I went to theater. Phobia, the whole movie is not okay. It's, people who are into mind and all, they should watch that.
And how is Saira?
Sairat is good.
I don't see.
Marathi. But subtitle, English subtitles are there. Acha. So like there are certain movies which Sairat should be watched in theater because of music. It is composed in America and it comes on you. At home you may not feel that. In car it is there. You sit in car and put that music, you will know the effect. That same happens in theater. But in home you may not get that feel. Okay, so that is responsibility. So first thing is acceptance, then responsibility. Now this is very important. Every problem contains the seed of opportunity. And if we know this, we will search for opportunity, not the problem.
So opportunity के साथ create करने का.
हाँ, so that first thing we have to accept there is an opportunity. Like I see mango, I know there is a seed. There is a seed which will, for example, they call it a stepping stone and stumbling block. Something like stepping stone that has to. So there are many cases. There is one book, 11 innovations. You read that. I will send you that photograph in Crossword. You will find that. That hopeless situation they converted into, like Surat. Surat today is the best city in India.
Yes.
And that was
it was worse.
Plague affected. That time I had opportunity to go to Surat. I was with some company and some other company offered me a job in Surat. And I still remember family refused that you should not go to Surat because of plague epidemic. And we see Surat where it is today. So that problem they are converted into solution. In fact, you look at any problem and if you sit with me, I will tell you the seed where it is. Like suppose you don't have money today or your business is not running, so you have to find out what is going wrong. And if you go and find it out, you might double your business to 10 times. 10 times. And then you will say, yes, good, this happened. Now, how telephone was invented? Because Thomas Edison, who was that? No, Graham Bell. His mother was hard of hearing. She couldn't hear. Mother, no, wife. And then he created something so that she will carry that and he should talk. And he created that equipment to communicate with his wife, and that became telephone. And why they say hello?
Conveying that.
Yeah, but why hello? It could have been anything.
You are saying
Huh?
vibrations.
His wife's name.
Hello.
That became hello. Because that is what, see, the problem became solution. And believe me, you while trying to solve any problem, you become better.
Actually,
And you get solution.
Once the problem comes, then
करना पड़ेगा.
So you come out of your comfort zone and try to do something new.
Yes.
That is how the picture changes.
See, actually it is a game of pain and gain. Till the time pain is lesser than gain, we continue. The moment pain becomes bigger than gain, then we stop and think, kya karna hai? Like doctor tells you, if you drink 1 drop of beer or alcohol, you are dying. Then we stop. If you smoke again, you are gone. We stop. So that till that point, people prolong it. So if you actually, we should have the mindset of trying to search for opportunities in problem. Then we will be never worried about problems. So Dhirubhai Ambani said a very good thing called, we have to celebrate failure. We have to celebrate failure. See? Why? What is there to celebrate?
You know what you don't have.
But why to celebrate? Yeah?
और एक मौका
Yeah.
मिला है.
They teach you certain lessons, you know.
Yeah, every failure teaches lesson.
सक्सेस में जितना हम लोग को
Complacent बना दे सक्सेस.
सक्सेस में जितना हमको सीखने को नहीं मिलता क्योंकि हम लोग सक्सेस में इंट्रोस्पेक्ट नहीं करते, फेलियर में हम लोग इंट्रोस्पेक्ट करते हैं.
No, I'll tell you, success is the lousy teacher. It will actually kill you. Because we feel I can do anything. Rajesh Khanna, he thought he can do anything and he went down. And failure actually makes you alert that you look at this, what is happening. But why to celebrate failure? That what Dhirubhai Ambani said. People should celebrate failure because they should take that learning and they should never repeat that mistake again. But people repeat the same mistake again. If you don't, their problem. So then you should don't celebrate because you have not got the message. Right? So if somebody gets the message hard, I will not do this again ever. Then you should celebrate. But if you say, okay, wapas wahi karke, then it is that story will repeat. History will. And Dhirubhai said very profound wisdom. He said, why I have become bigger than Tatas in very few years? Because whatever mistakes Tatas committed in 100 years, I committed more mistakes in 20 years. What a thought process. Just imagine. He said, I have committed more mistakes in 20 years what they have committed in 100 years. That is, I became bigger. Because mistakes will teach you, not success.
He learned 5 times
Faster than them. Because he worked 24/7. Every moment he was into that job. मतलब आज भी Narendra Modi people say 4 hours he sleeps, 2 o'clock, 5 or 6 o'clock he starts. Dhirubhai also used to do like that. That is why he got the stroke also. But he was passionate. It was not work. It was fun for him. It was passion.
you cannot do it otherwise.
In fact, you whatever you are doing, you please ask yourself कि if Dhirubhai Ambani was doing what he would have done. And you will immediately get the answer. Believe me, you will immediately get the answer what he would have done. He wouldn't have sat for 1 minute doing nonsense. He would have just picked up the bag. Like I tell the sales guys, what nonsense sale नहीं होता. Dhirubhai, what would have he done? He would have gone and just spoken to 100 guys. लेता है क्या कोई तो लेगा.
10 मिनट से एक जन लेता है.
बाकी लोग सोचे क्या करूँ, सर ये जाता हूँ वो करता हूँ, सोचने का नहीं, थॉट और गैप में नो एक्शन. धीरूभाई व्हाट ही सेड, धीरूभाई अंबानी सेड, in thought and action there should not be a gap, should not be a gap. Thought and action should be one, there should not be gap between thought and action. In fact, all these sales training generally they fail because they don't talk about implementation. They will talk about the systems, this is what it is, but what about implementation? Because that man cannot go out and implement that. What is the point?
Action is
Also, it consumes your energy unnecessarily. ना वो इतना सोचने के बाद फिर आप इतना
हाँ,
all that consumes more energy.
they call it analysis, paralysis by analysis.
you drain yourself by
Thinking only, thinking. No, it is said, na, some people think, they don't act. Some people don't think, they only act. Okay, now the third step is, okay, again this is reality is interpretation as a teacher. For example, you find one man and woman, they are not married. They are not married to each other. They are both married but to different, and you come see them coming out of theater together. So it is our interpretation that they have come. But after some time, his wife and her husband comes out. So, but reality is the interpretation. We feel it is like this. हमने सोचा, जैसे वो व्हाट्सएप पे जोक आया था कि गार्डन पे वो लोग बैठे थे, एक आदमी और लेडी, तो द पुलिस केम एंड सेड यहाँ क्या बैठो, तो उधर हटो, ये क्या करो, चलो नाइसन, मतलब आपका दिखाओ कौन आप लोग, तो बोला यार वी आर मैरिड, तो तुम लोग मैरिड हो तो इधर टू डिफरेंट पीपल, समझा ना, दे आर मैरिड टू डिफरेंट पीपल, तो वी हैव टू सिट हियर एंड डू व्हाटएवर वी हैव टू. Okay. Now third is defenselessness. First is accepting whatever it is, then taking responsibility, and third is defenselessness. See, no need to convince or persuade people. Like most of the time we are trying to convince somebody for our point of view. See Amitabh Bachchan never talks about, doesn't give explanation about what has happened. In fact, Bofor's issues also, he never said anything. One fine day, Abhishek Bachchan, he was studying in America. He called his father and said, "What is happening? Have you really done something wrong?" He said, "No, I have not done anything wrong." Then he said, "Why you are not telling people? Because I know because I am your son. Why don't you tell?" Then he gave press conference, Amitabh Bachchan, and he actually came and said, "Ask me questions," and he answered everything. I said, "I am not involved in Bofor's." He was just defenseless. Whatever you think, you think. But that sometimes goes against you, sometimes goes against you. नहीं उसको अगर गलत कभी होगा, then if he is feeling bad about it. लेकिन if you see somebody accepts, then takes responsibility for creative response. Now he should tell people creatively. So what he should do? बल्ला बोलना चाहिए, something like that he should do so that people understand also, and without him telling. Okay. When we become defensive, life meets with resistance. We are defensive. We are trying to defend some point of view. We meet with resistance. We are actually against with the universe. Universe is trying to do something. You are trying to do something else. See, facing the solution will only increase resistance. Not facing, forcing the solution. So generally we try to force a solution. In that forcing, we create new problems. Like there is a kidney problem. The medicine tries to force the kidney to be okay, but that medicine will harm liver. Because it is forcing kidney to be okay within next 7 days. But if you go to Ayurveda, maybe homeopathy, it will not force. It will slowly repair kidney, at the same time not harming liver. But allopathy will repair forcefully. The doctor will say, "I have made your kidney okay, now go home." But he goes back and sits in car, and my liver dukh raha hai वहाँ पर, मैं नहीं उधर जा. So वो cycle चल रहा है. Future specialty. So this law of least effort basically talks of 3 steps. First one is acceptance, second responsibility, and defenselessness. So we should not try to convince our point of view to somebody. Our action speeds, like there's a problem, first thing we should accept the problem, and then take responsibility, not blaming anyone including yourself, and think of creative response to the problem, because every problem is a seed of opportunity. So think of creative response. How should I no, don't defend anybody, don't. होता है. Then argument will only create heat, and discussion will create light.
Can you explain that last part?
Forcing the solution will create new problems. For example, we meet. For example, the child is not studying. We lock him in a room. You have to study. He might do something else. और कुछ problem हो सकता है. So we try to force a solution.
In practice, try to, means we do the effort and then you mean we should leave the...
No, we should have a creative response to the problem. We should think ki creatively how should I solve this problem. Normal solution may not work there because the situation which created the problem, same situation will not solve the problem. So this situation we have to change in a different way. We have to think how, what should I do so that this will get changed for betterment. So that is why we should have time for ourselves. If we keep on blaming our own self, कि मेरे वजह से ऐसा हुआ, then we cannot put our energy to solution. So energy is wasted. So then I am trying to defend to people. No, I am not this. I am good. Why do you think whatever you want to? I want. You will know what. बल्ला बोलेगा तो दुनिया देगी. That is how it is. So let us not force the solution. What it says is we should be totally laid back and focus on the creative solution to the problem. Thinking and we should be very sure in our mind that this problem is a seed of opportunity. So that seed we have to search. We have to search. Okay. In fact, when the Britishers wanted to control India, they sent somebody. I forgot in the MacLeod or somebody. He came and studied and then he presented a report to British Parliament there. And that report said we cannot control them. Why? Because their education system is such that they are made complete human being. They cannot be controlled because they are complete human being. So what to do? If we want to control them, first control their education system. Break that. So today they are encouraging creative thinking. Break that. So teach them history, what has happened. Teach them maths, 1 + 1 2. Don't teach them to think, just do what is told. So the whole system was changed to maths, science, this, that. There is no subject which encourages creativity. So most of the time we are not inclined for creative solution. We are not taught like that. So we are only blaming here, there and then we get schooled.
Do you set up a fixed time limit? कितने time में होने का I will try and
No, in fact the time is our concept.
This is not to force the solution, na. So you cannot इतने time में होना.
ऐसा नहीं, लेकिन at the same time see whatever is the problem, whatever solution you expect, that you should imagine it has happened. Considering other laws into picture, you should believe that it has happened. It will happen. You should go to that location.
This is because when you force anything within the group or individually, you force it, there is a opposite energy. Because because of position, he may accept it. But internal to accept nahi kiya hai. So there is no question of alignment.
In fact, this Amritsar Golden Temple, what happened? Forcefully prevented. So that should have had some creative response to the whole thing. The situation will be there, but if you see this mentality, you should not force that. See, again I will tell you about this forcing. I forgot what was, but this forcing anything will always create some problem. So we have to understand and find out the solution. And
in the case of family itself, when we are for son or wife, husband, if you force anything,
it will boomerang.
Position, because of the earning.
Yeah.
Sometimes wife may agree.
Right.
But वो किधर तो भी दूसरी जगह.
Right, सही है. Okay, so
दिल से नहीं accept किया.
In fact, we should change our mindset to welcome problems, because when you are welcoming problem, you are welcoming opportunity. But generally, see, there is only one word in English which people think is opposite, but it is not opposite. That is failure and success. It is not opposite at all. In fact, failure, this door is written failure. So people think I should go into this door. But in this door, if you go inside, there is one more door called success. Because the path to success has to go through failure. Has to, there is no other way.
That is why that in NLP, that presupposition is very good. One presupposition in NLP is there is no failure, it is only a feedback.
Right. They say either you win or you learn. So on the way, we should be welcoming that. So basically this talks about you have to first accept, don't blame anybody, take full responsibility in the sense thinking of creative response, not blaming yourself. And then become defenseless, because whatever response you have taken, whatever action you have taken, keep on, focus your energy on that action, not about what he is thinking, Let us not be bothered about what others are perceiving us as. We should just go after what we want to do. And that will be the correct law of least efforts, and miracles will happen in our lives. That is what this law is all about. Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you.